Thanks for making a bit of time to come and have a chat with me. I wanted to kick off the interview by sort of reflecting back on something that we talked about last time we spoke. You basically said to me that you're going to build your business without any salespeople. Now, I think that's a pretty radical idea. I mean, what do you mean by that, and how does that work in your context? I mean, just tell us about that.
This is referring to actually one of our motto, which is no sales guy, no complex IT, make it simple. We essentially do a marina management software and
Yep.
also a booking platform.
Let me interrupt for a second.
Please,
How big's the market? I mean, there are a lot more marinas than I ever imagined. I mean, roughly, how many marinas are there?
there are roughly 20,000 on Earth, out of which almost half of them are located in the US or in North America, US, Canada, and the rest mostly in Europe and the rest of the world. It's a substitution market. You need to wait or to create eventually the next window of replacing the existing
Yeah.
and legacy systems.
And just in terms of that market, I mean, what is it you're trying to do? I mean, are you trying to capture the whole market? I mean, what's your kind of plan? Where are you going with this?
Trying to become the first player and the first provider truly global. Our competitors, the way they do basically is to do enterprise sales model. They've got salespeople within their teams. They've got junior salespeople who do the prospection. Once the client is interested, they start presenting the product, doing demo and other demos to the different stakeholders in the marinas. They eventually reach to the phase where they issue the first proposal and they enter in a negotiation cycle and they revise their proposal once, twice, three times. And all of this can easily take 12, 18, 24 months, which is very fine if you are selling an Oracle or a Salesforce or a big infrastructure software. But unfortunately, in the world of marinas, the average yearly revenue is more around between 20 to 50K.
You've done it a very different way. I mean, just tell us about the how yours is different to that.
Well, the summary is that we try to cut across the sales process. How can we make it easier and how we can make it self-service for the marina? In a marina software, the key, the cornerstone is the map of the marina because everybody is being worked around the map. When you manage your client, your boats, where your boats are berthed, of course, the map is central. Even at the time of issuing a quote, an invoice, it's always related to a berth, which itself is related to the map. So the map is the key. It can take literally 1 month, 2 months before a client can be onboarded in a traditional software. What we did is to digitalize all 20,000 marina maps of the marinas of this world.
Yeah. So just to summarize this, so you've digitalized all the marina maps so that you've got all the information about where the boats are, which is really what it's about, isn't it? And then what you've done is created a self-service app so that people don't have to go through the kind of rigmarole they went through before. They can just sign up, access the map, etc., etc. I mean,
That's it.
it's a really neat idea. Let me ask you, how did you come up with the idea? I mean, it's a very clever idea, but where did that come from?
From the field experience, I've sold traditional marina software. I felt firsthand this pain. Let us put us in the shoes of the marina manager. During the day, they do their work day at the dock, at the pontoon. In the evening, when they are released with that, they can go to Marinapy. They can search through the interactive map and find their marina. And surprise, oh, my marina is there. They sign up, they claim their marina, they customize maybe the 2, 3 missing berths, they adjust the size of a few berths, then they choose one of the operative models that we provide. So basically the price list and the service catalog. That's done in 1 hour time, and that's it. They are ready to receive bookings the next day.
Your role in that process. So, to what extent have your values influenced the way you've developed the business? Is it simply that you saw it was being done inefficiently and you wanted to solve that problem, or do you have sort of, because you come across as quite, I mean, quite passionate about getting this right for people. I mean, have your values influenced the way you've built the business?
I am also a boater. I am also a client of Marina. I've owned 3 boats in my life. The sea is my thing.
Now, I talk to a lot of CEOs, and most of them tell me that building a business is like riding a roller coaster. You know, there are good days and there are bad days. There's everything in between. I mean, what is it about this that kind of gets you out of bed every day to ride that roller coaster? Because it's quite a tough gig building a business. I mean, what is it that motivates you to do that?
Is the fulfillment of your vision, and that's why you need this vision, because otherwise it's unbearable. If you take it as a 9 to 5 job, I
It
mean,
doesn't
you're
work like
dead.
that, does it?
You're dead.
And you mentioned excitement. And what is it that excites you about it? Because I hear this from a lot from entrepreneurs. They get excited about the thing that they're doing. What is it that excites you about this particularly?
Is to see little by little the vision realizing, and you start seeing traction. And the human factor is simply accompanying the prospects, the clients, the market in this journey. We speak to everybody. We provide support to everybody.
Let me ask you about the flip side. I mean, what are the things that keep you up? I mean, keep you awake at night? I mean, that's the other thing I hear from people.
Well, you do everything from cleaning the office, you do the marketing, you do the communication, you manage all the small bond. I had a background of other successful ventures, but also working up to C-level in big organization, where when you need something, you just need to think to whom you're gonna ask it to be done.
and let me ask you about, I mean, I think it's a great idea. Um, I mean, how are you going to make that happen? I suppose that's the next thing I want to talk about. I mean, when you set out on the journey, what sort of challenges did you think you were going to have to face? And has that assessment of what the challenges were, has that been true, or have the challenges been something different? I mean, what was it you thought you would have to deal with when you started out, and how's that played out?
We knew from the start that traffic development, SEO, awareness, communication, and marketing would be extremely important. Your clients and the feedback you get from the market will eventually drive you in areas where you would have never thought
But give us,
in the
give us.
first
I mean,
place.
that's really interesting in your setting. I mean, give us an example of that in practice. I mean, just talk about how that actually worked in practice for you.
We thought it was targeting mostly small to mid-size marina, privately owned. And the surprise has been that we've been contacted by either big marinas or networks of marina, because marinas are consolidating big time, meaning regrouping as a structured group, private equity backed with people with a deep pocket. There is a one and only one Marinapy app. And from this app, you can book in any of the 20,000 marina of the world. So for a group who try to build a customer experience, interoperability between their marina and a very smooth customer experience, well, our solution is probably one of the best positioned in the market. And
No, but I can see why it would help you grow. I mean, that must have been
yeah,
a big,
of course.
a really helpful thing to help you grow and expand that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Let me ask you about building the business. I mean, that's the other thing that really interests me and one of the challenges is how you keep moving forward. I mean, what's your sort of take? What are your thoughts on how you keep the business, if you like, on the front foot, keeping moving forward? Because there's kind of, I mean, my experience was there's always stuff kind of coming at you. How do you kind of keep everyone on the front foot as the CEO? Because part of your job is not just to keep yourself focused, but to keep everyone focused on. I mean, what are your thoughts on that process?
Focus with flexibility. among the traffic going to our website. And due to the fact that we own a unique asset, which is the map of those 20,000 marinas, not only we had qualified marina manager traffic visiting the website, but a lot of boaters. And we say, wow, but if we have so much boaters traffic, finally, why wouldn't we offer the possibility for them to book in those marina and
Yeah,
to
yeah,
become a
yeah.
different business, a booking platform? Just to illustrate that, of course, focus, but focus doesn't necessarily mean stubborn obstination.
Let me ask you about the flexibility thing, because I mean that's one of the things that's good about working in or building small businesses, if you like, is that you do have that flexibility that you often don't get in big companies. But there's a downside to that. Is I mean, and I've certainly, I mean, I'm very easily distracted by things. I think, oh, that looks interesting, and I spend time, invest time and energy in something, and then after a while, I realise, well, I've taken my eye off what I should have been focusing on. I mean, what's your take on if you like? Cutting through all the noise. I mean, what's your sort of take on that?
You need to multitask a lot. Sometimes intellectually, it's very interesting because you switch from marketing to product development to
Yeah,
technicalities
yeah.
of SEO. And
How do you find the time to stand back from all those, sort of tasks that have to be done day to day to keep focused? I mean, what's your thoughts about that process of sort of, keeping your eyes on the horizon whilst making sure that stuff still gets done?
a vision that derives in a North Star, you need to be able to relate it to the vision and to the North Star. And if you eventually don't find this link between the two, this is the right time to say, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this task.
Yeah, yeah, no, I totally get that. I mean, the North Star idea is quite helpful, isn't it? Because it kind of keeps you focused on the thing you should be doing rather than the thing that perhaps you might want to do, which is sometimes different. And let me ask you about something that's sort of related to that. I mean, at the moment, there is, I mean, I mean, there probably has been uncertainty like this in the past, but it feels like there is a lot of uncertainty in the world. I mean, there's all this sort of stuff going on in the Middle East at the moment, and there's, Donald Trump and his tariffs in America, and there's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, how do you deal? What's your take on how you deal with that uncertainty? Because I mean, one is to avoid the distractions, but the other thing is also to work out, well, which of the things should I be doing to move forward, given that I don't know how things are going to play out. I mean, what's your take on that?
You need to stay connected with the bigger world. And there is also a moment to say, okay, happen what happens. I need to move forward. Let us assume everything will end up well, and I have to carry on. I just have to carry on.
One of the things that's interesting is that you're dealing with marinas all over the world. I know they're mostly the US and Europe, but they are actually all over the place, aren't they? What's your take on the kind of cultural stuff? So, I mean, what's your take on the kind of cultural nuances? Has that affected how you've rolled out the business? I mean, does that impact on how you deal with people? Because different places, business people kind of work in different ways, don't they? I mean, has that had an impact?
The typology of marinas in our case are very different between the US and Europe. One example, in Europe, a berth will always be charged by increments of size. So your boat
Right.
is between 6 and 8 or 8 and 10 meters, and that defines the price. In the US, it will be more by foot, the actual number of foot. There is obviously the currency, the VAT scheme, the accounting scheme. When you want to be global, that's another layer of complexity that you've got to
And
address.
And let me ask you about something that's related to that. I mean, that must produce vast quantities of data.
Hmm.
I mean, And what's the play with the data? I mean, I get the app in the sense that it helps the people that manage the marinas to manage the marinas. What's the play with all the data? I mean, do you have vehicles or processes to feed back to people about, pricing averages or whatever? I mean, what's the data play that relates to this?
Let us clarify first and foremost the data generated by the operations of a marina belong to the marina.
Yeah,
The clients of the marina are the clients of the marina. The invoices issued by the marina are the invoices of the marina, and we've got nothing to do with that other than providing the service, complying with the data protection regulation. Now, it is true that if you aggregate this data, and it's a service to them that they actually like very much in terms of benchmarking themselves. Are we pricing higher, lower? Is our occupancy in the second half of July of last year equal, superior, or inferior than what is seen in our region or globally?
yeah, and presumably pretty helpful to those people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because
They,
where
they,
else would you get that data? I mean, if you want to work out whether you're charging more or less than the average, I mean, where else would you get that data? I don't think you can get it anywhere else, can you?
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Let me ask you about the journey that you've been on. I mean, what would you say are the factors that have made your business successful? I mean, when you look back, what is it that's made it such a success?
I think the vision was correct. We've done some adjustment. The values were right. Something simple, easy. There is a demographic effect. It's an aging population, and in the marina management too. And the newer generation is the one with digital native. It creates a very positive context for us.
Yeah. I mean, what you seem to be saying, if I've understood that correctly, is that you've got to kind of stay focused on the North Star, but you've got to be flexible to adapt to what you learn from your customers. I mean, that seems to me what you're saying. Is that fair?
Exactly. It's absolutely fair. And it's like sailing a sailboat towards tacking towards the wind.
Yeah.
You need to know
Yeah.
where the wind is, but you go
Yeah,
zigzagging.
yeah. And let me ask you about your experience as the CEO. I mean, on the journey that you've been on, has there been any kind of critical moments, perhaps make or break moments, things that have shaped you as a CEO? Have you had any moments like that that have,
When after 1 year and a half almost, I've seen realizing the 20,000 maps here represented in the map of the world. It was a very fulfilling moment.
and have there been any particularly difficult decisions that you've had to make at any point?
We did also a few iteration around our pricing model to make it always simpler. Our solution is free for any marina smaller than 100 berth.
And let me ask you a couple of other things. So, what would you say, looking back, is the biggest mistake you've made?
The pricing model was a bit complicated. We simplified to the extreme. It's either free if you are small or a flat unique fee if you're bigger. We don't try to maximize the profitability from the bigger marina. We rather bet on the volume and the wider global adoption.
And let me ask you about the flip side to that. I mean, what's been the most enjoyable bit?
Seeing the product materializing and seeing the good feedback and response from the prospect and the market.
And let me ask you a couple of other questions before we wind up. I mean, if you were starting again, if you went back to day one, if you were starting from scratch, is there anything you'd do differently, perhaps?
I was always in a rush. It's important to be hungry. It's important to be in some level of urgency, but one must also be aware that it always. I've never seen a project going faster than expected. It takes some time. We don't have any financial urgency. Assume that you will achieve half of what you've planned in a given time frame.
One last question. I mean, if you were to offer some advice to a rookie CEO, somebody just starting out, what would that one piece of advice be?
Well, patience, resilience, conviction in your vision, antennas open to always benchmark the vision against the market reality at a given time.
What a great piece of advice to end with. Thank you for that, Olivier. I really appreciate you making time to come and have a chat. I
It
mean,
was a pleasure.
it all. I like boats. I've always liked boats. It seems to me to be a great job working with marinas all around the world. I mean, I think that just sounds like such an exciting little proposition. And thanks for coming and sharing the story. I mean, it's been absolutely fascinating. So I really appreciate that. I'll see you soon.